Hi, my name is Alan Diwan, and in my video series, I'm talking about how to face adversities and difficulties, and what are the tools that we can use to face these difficulties and adversities. And today, I'm going to talk about your ability to deal with disappointment or with difficulties. So, whenever we face a broken dream, when we hit a wall in achieving our goals, or whenever we face something where we wanted something and we something has hindered that, something that is going to cause us a lot of disappointment, something that is going to cause us a lot of grief, we are going to have a natural reaction to that. Now everyone has a natural reaction, and when we are able to see what that natural reaction is, and we are able to confirm it, oh, this is how I am reacting, then you will be able to better see it in other people as well, and then you will be able to adopt or to change that reaction so that it will not hinder you, but it will help you. Now everybody, when they're faced with a grief, with a disappointment, with a death, with whatever, they go through these 5 stages of disappointment or 5 stages of grief. Now it's important to realize, to see, to know these 5 stages so that we will be able to face them or to cope with them in a better way. So what are these 5 stages? The first is denial. Whenever you something that has happened that you didn't want to happen in your life, your first reaction would be to actually deny that it has happened. You will not accept it, and it is very dangerous to stay in this situation, because you are not facing reality. You are living in a non-real world. You can say things like, I can't, even if you know it has happened, you still don't accept it internally. You say sentences like, I can't believe this has happened, or I can't believe that this situation is like that. So the until you are 100% confirmed, and there is no more denial, then you go on to the next stage. So it's very important to get your facts right, correct, quickly, and to accept that whatever, how big of a loss you have faced, to accept the fact that it first of all has happened. The second thing is, the second stage in facing any disappointment is anger. So you have this out, you get angry, you have this outbursts of anger. You can't control your emotions, you can't believe that this has happened, and it is going to be, this anger is triggered by this a feeling of pain, of loss, or whatever difficulty that you are going through. And that's why when people, a lot of people, when they hear bad news, they have this outbursts of anger, and an uncontrolled emotion. And this kind of an uncontrolled emotion, anger, will lead you to do a lot of stuff which you would regret later on, or which you really don't want to do. So it's important first of all to realize, to see, oh, to catch yourself, oh, I'm getting angry. Now the third stage of facing any disappointment is blaming. You are going to assess why what has happened, and instead of looking at where you were at fault, you would always want to blame other people for this mistake, or for whatever loss you are going through. You are not ready to accept any kind of responsibility. The next stage would be depression. This stage would mean that you are uh, uh, now accepting the situation, it has happened, and you are gone beyond the stage of anger. You have gone beyond the stage of this outburst of emotions, and there's now no one to blame as well. So you would go into a deep depression. It's very important for ourselves to catch ourselves in this situation, because if we don't, we would allow that situation, that failure, that temporary setback, or whatever, or that loss, and we will allow it to permeate our souls. We will allow it to become a part of us, and then look we will look upon ourselves as some people who are continually a failure or continually have setbacks, and we will not take the setback as a temporary thing, but we will have this mindset that nothing is going to work out in my life and it's going to cause further depression. And then the last stage would be the stage of, I would call it enlightenment, where you would accept responsibility for whatever your fault was, or even if it was not your fault, you do at least accept the responsibility of your reaction to that situation, to that temporary loss, or to that permanent loss even, or to that setback that you have had. You accept how you are reacting. You start to take control of yourself, of your emotions, and you just, you accept the fact, and you say there's no use crying over spilled milk. um, what cannot be controlled, you realize, and you know now that what cannot be cured must be endured. And what this leads you to, the next step is, it leads you towards action. It leads you towards finding a solution. Rather than focusing on the problem itself, you will focus now on the solution. You will try to minimize the damage. You will try to see how you can cut back on this setback that you have faced. You are looking for any opportunity that might arise from this setback, or from this negativity, or from this loss that you have faced. And Friedrich Nietzsche once said that what does not kill me makes me stronger. So you are trying to get stronger from this situation, and you realize that it has happened. There's nothing you can do about it. What am I going to do? What was my reaction? What my reaction is going to be? So to face difficulties and issues and problems, we have to realize, we have to study these 5 stages within us, within our soul, within our lives, and we have to try to move through them as quickly as possible. Quickly as possible, go out of this denial situation, go out of your anger of blaming others, of the depression, and look for the solution, and look for what you can do. Look at the positive side of any negative situation, and be courageous. You need real courage to endure, to persist, and carry on in the face of all adversities. Any problem, any disappointment that comes, you keep moving ahead, facing all the difficulties, all the setbacks, all the emotional negativity that you have had, and you continue, and that is truly what will lead you towards success and happiness. Thanks for listening to me.